than the Washington Post. Washington Post was unbelievable in its dishonesty about this. I just want to read a paragraph. The Donald Trump appointed judge's move could undo years of efforts to enhance coordination between the government and social media companies. For more than a decade, the federal government has attempted to work with social media companies to address criminal activity, including child sexual abuse images and terrorism. Now, why is that dishonest? Well, here's the ruling. Here's a couple of lines from the ruling at the end, where the judge talks about what is not covered in this ruling. Number one, informing social media companies of postings involving criminal activity or criminal conspiracies. Notifying social media companies of national security threats. Let's see. Communicating with social media companies about deleting, removing, suppressing, or reducing posts on social media platforms that are not protected free speech. So he specifically says that this doesn't cover crime. It doesn't cover child sexual abuse or terrorism or any of that stuff. It just covers protected free speech. And yet the Washington Post just sort of brazenly implies that this is going to roll back progress on, the cooperation leading to the capture of child sexual predators. Does it get any more dishonest than that, media-wise? I can't remember anything like that.
There was one guy who came out to criticize the ruling, who heads a First Amendment Center at Columbia University. If there was ever a ruling that set out to protect the First Amendment, it was this one. But this guy, whose job is supposedly to defend freedom of speech, saw it in an interestingly different way. He saw this as restraining the free speech of the government to tell people what to do in order to restrain your free speech. In other words, what an ingenious piece of sophistry this was. He's telling you that this is all about restraining the Fed's free speech when they go and tell people to restrain at scale your free speech.